If you're with us, hi, and thank you for joining us. Tonight we have Zoe Chu, our sleep expert, to share with us some tips on good sleeping habits. And most of our kids have gone back to school. Some went back last week, some went back this week. And after 2 months of being home and on holiday, I think some kids really need some help in readjusting their sleep. Also nap times, I believe. So tonight, our sleep expert Zoe Chu is going to tell us more about restful bedtime habits for preschoolers and school-going children. And Zoe is a speaker, author, and baby adult sleep expert who has a mission to empower tired and sleep-deprived parents to get back their precious sleep for the entire family. So she has helped transform the lives of thousands of families all around the world through her simple 5-step system to a better night's sleep. So welcome, Zoe, again, and thank you for joining us tonight.
Well, thanks for having me, Sophie.
My
I'm also
pleasure.
doing the Facebook here, so I was like, hey.
Oh, super cool, super cool. Yay. Yeah. Hi, Pin. Hi, everybody. Not seeing Shishir if I
Hi,
can
Wan
see
Pin.
anyone.
Hello. Thanks for saying. Thanks for watching.
Thanks for watching. Hey, so Zoe, first question for you. What are the common issues that parents have when it comes to bedtime?
What are the common issues? Well, I would say that a lot of my clients, they will tell me that their toddlers or their preschooler would just want to delay bedtime. Okay, means that they just want to play, they want to like run around, they just wouldn't lie down and sit still. Yeah, so that's one of the most common one. And then another one is also like their bedtime will be quite late. Okay, and clearly that they're actually quite tired already, but they just, what research has found is that overtired children, they tend to be they tend to be hyperactive because their body actually releases the cortisol, and cortisol is the stress hormones that actually keeps them even more awake and alert. So if you find that your children refuse to go to bed and things like that, it's not because they are not tired enough, it's because they are actually overtired, and their body fights sleep because of the fact that they need to, their cortisol buildup is getting higher and higher. Instead of having the melatonin, cortisol is taking over, and so that's the problem.
Oh wow. Okay, so I know you're a mother of 4 children, including a set of twins, and all 4 of your kids, slept through the night since they were 3 months old. How lucky you are.
I wouldn't use the word lucky, but I think it's because I made a lot of mistakes as well as a first-time mom, and I think it's because I didn't know, no one told me anything when I was pregnant that I need to explore sleep training, they call it, right? But it's actually, to me, I prefer to use the word fostering healthy sleep habits, because sleep training sounds very rigid and like you're putting them through some regime to get them to sleep, but sleep is actually a biological need that we all need. It's not a luxury, right? I mean, our kids need a lot of sleep in order to grow well. When they're sleeping, growth hormones are released. It will help with their brain and physical development. And there's a lot of other things that's going on as well. Like, it will help boost their immune system, especially now with this COVID-19. The more we need to actually prioritize their sleep, because it will help boost their immune system. Because when they're sleeping, their body will actually release all this protein known as cytokines, T cells or antibodies. So yeah, sleep is really the foundation of our health and our well-being. And I think our society is not putting a lot of priorities on sleep. Okay, if we actually put more priorities on our sleep, I don't think we will have so much disease or sickness around that's going on.
Yes, I do agree with you. What you said earlier on about sleep is related to health and immunity, and so it's something that I insist for my children as well, that they should sleep early. As most parents would face, they always say, oh, I have something else to do, especially when I have a teen, and she seems to always have a lot of work to do. So it's like, I have to pick that battle between allowing her to finish her homework, and she says nighttime is the best time for me. It's so quiet, I can do a lot of work, and saying that it's important to sleep early. I think one other thing for me is also, I believe in this Chinese biological clock, Chinese rhythm. that's important to go to bed before 11. So it's kind of something that I kind of enforce for my kids. You must be in bed, by a certain time. But okay, so coming back to something you mentioned much earlier on, you said that overtired kids tend to have issues falling asleep. Are there any other reasons for kids not being able to fall asleep or resisting to go to sleep?
Well, actually, you'll find that if you are actually staying in a room with your child until they fall asleep, you might think that it actually makes them feel, I don't know, comforted or more secure. But your presence there is actually overstimulating them. So I think a lot of parents do not realize that. They think that by being there is actually going to make them fall asleep quicker or something. But the opposite is true. Your presence there is actually going to stimulate them, especially if you've been at work all day, and then your preschooler or your toddlers just want to spend more time with you, so they keep themselves awake even longer just so that they can spend time with you, because they miss you.
Yes.
So I think it's a bit hard, I know, in our society, because you have both working parents and you also just want to spend time with them. But I always believe that you want to spend quality time with a well-rested child rather than an overtired child.
Wow, I love this point you raised, because I can also identify with that. Many years ago, when I was, having a corporate job, and my kids actually had to sleep late because, I wanted to spend that time with them.
Yeah.
And so I remembered I put them on a preschool where school started at 11 o'clock.
Yeah, okay,
sleep till
good.
10 or something. They could stay up later and we could spend time together. But yes, you're very right. There's a lot of things in play, working parents, kids.
And the thing is, because I know about the science of sleep, and I know that growth hormones are released at its optimal level between 10 p.m. to 2 a.m. when your child is already in deep sleep. Okay, so if you actually delay their bedtime, then they are kind of like deprived of this growth hormones that they need to grow well. So even though you might think that, okay, maybe I can let them sleep in, but it's actually, they are not getting the best quality of sleep if you delay their bedtime.
Yes, I can definitely identify with that. Yes, wonderful. So Zoe, I know your work has been featured in newspapers, magazines, a lot of online media, Mother and Baby, Singapore Motherhood, Sunday Times. There's a whole long list. Radio, Channel News Asia. I think cannot finish reading.
Okay.
But your sleep program has also been selected by Harper's Bazaar Junior as one of the top 12 best courses for parents in Singapore. So if you may just share some, simple steps what parents can do, for easy bedtime experience. So maybe some tips for our parents in this group.
Okay. So one of the things that I would definitely get you guys to start doing is really change your mindset, okay, about sleep. You got to know how important sleep is. Then you will start to prioritize it. If you don't know how important sleep is, then you will never make it a big deal, right? Yeah. So that's the tip number one, the biggest sleep tip, right? And then make sure that you prepare the ideal sleep environment for your child, because we are basically training our brain to associate our bedroom or their bedroom as a place where they can get a good rest and well rested night. So if you keep their bedroom to be a really good sleeping sanctuary, then they can fall asleep quicker as well. I mean, keep it dark, keep it safe, and the bedroom is not a place where they should have a lot of toys or full of clutter, because then they will want to go into the bedroom and play, right? But we want them to know that the bedroom is where they can sleep. And they need to start associating that the bedroom is where they can get a good night rest, or even a good nap.
Yes. How about lighting? Is it okay to have a night light?
I personally think less is more. So before the invention of artificial light, we all just have no light whatsoever, right? And then when the sun sets, that's when our body actually start to release melatonin, and melatonin is the sleepy hormone we need in order to fall asleep and stay asleep. So of course, ideally, yeah, I will try to do away with the night light as well. And sometimes, you know, my number three, he's 9 year old, and then sometimes his brother still want to do some work, and he sleeps with them, and so he will put on the eye mask, yeah, the sleep mask,
Okay.
yeah,
Right.
yeah,
Wow.
because yeah, he also understand how important it is to, you
Yes,
know,
yes.
make sure there's no light entering through your eyes, yeah, because
Mm.
if there's light exposure, then your brain thinks that it's daytime, and then your body would not release melatonin, which is why um maybe I have a, let me show you something. uh, oh, here I have this blue light glasses, blue light blocking glasses that
Okay.
you can put on. Okay, so
Yes.
that you know, you don't get this kind of blue light exposure, especially at night when you are working with your, you know, gadgets, your, I mean, your laptop, your TV, all this thing. So you wear something like this, and then it will help you sleep better as well because then you don't get all this blue light, because blue light is similar to sunlight, right? So it tells our brain that, oh, it's daytime, so it's not time to sleep. That's why if you want to try to sleep after you work at your laptop, right, you'll find it quite hard because, yeah, of the exposure to blue light.
Right. Yes, I was going to look for mine. I have a pair
You
somewhere.
have one too?
I normally use it, yeah, when I do long work because I thought it's good for protecting my eyes because at one stage I was looking at the computer so long that my eyes were.
Mm,
It's a great point. So I'm
mm.
gonna make sure that I put my glasses on at night.
Yeah, yeah. And the reason why I don't put on is because my laptop, I actually install this app called app.lux. So you guys can
Mhm.
also try it out. It's a free app.
Mhm.
Maybe I type it here to your audience.
Yes, thanks.
App.lux app. Okay, so yeah, you can install it for free on your laptop and, you know, your devices, and even the, you know, if you have an iPhone, or
Mm.
there's something called night shift, so you can actually, so what happened to your screen is it becomes very orangey as the night goes by, and
Oh,
yeah, so it actually remove the blue light lah. So yeah, and then it also becomes so orangey as it gets later and later, so you actually tell yourself, oh, maybe I should stop working because it's gonna get harder for you to see
oh,
properly.
wow. Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
But sometimes I cheat because, you know, because if I really have a deadline, then I kind of like disable. You can disable it for a while just to see better. Yeah.
Ah, exactly. Wow. Okay. Wow. I think I should put that on my kids, on my daughters.
Mm.
And then they were like, oh, it doesn't look nice now. I think I'm going to sleep.
Yeah, and you can set what time you want to go to bed, and then it will start to become more
Oh,
orangey. Mm.
okay. Okay. Awesome. All right. So we've got changing your mindset, improving your sleep environment.
Mm.
Any other tips?
You know, give them a good schedule, because
Mm.
all of us, you know, we thrive on structure and routine. And our kids, especially the younger ones, if they, you know, have no idea how to set a good schedule and routine, give them a good routine, like a good bedtime routine, or, you know, help them wind down for bedtime. Because
Mm.
I think we all prepare ourselves for a lot of things, prepare ourselves for school, prepare ourselves for work, everything, but we don't prepare ourselves for bed. Right? We just like
Ah,
thinking that we work, and then after that we just try to lie down,
come
and
in.
it doesn't work, right? You have to tell your brain, signal to your brain that, okay, you want to sleep. And so one of the, you know, example is like maybe you take a shower, you know, they say research has shown that if you take a shower before bedtime, because it will lower your body temperature, and it can actually help induce your sleep as well. And
Mm.
then, you know, brush your teeth and all these things, and then maybe instead of looking at your phone, which I think a lot of us tend to do before we go to bed, or even on bed, and if you bring your gadget to your bed, is actually not a good thing as well.
Mm.
Okay. And yeah, you need to just make sure that you don't bring gadget to your bed, and read a book. I think reading a book or journaling your thoughts, it's also gonna help you have a better mindset to prepare yourself for bedtime. So I mean, this all these tips that I share with you is actually, you know, applicable for your children as well, or your
Mm.
teenagers, you know. So
Yes, yes.
it's just to, like, for me, I will get my teenagers to have a devotion So time to read the Bible, say a prayer, and then sleep. Yeah, so I think that's a better way to wind down rather than
Yes.
looking at your phone or watching Netflix. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. Just reflecting on the day and just having some quiet time before you go to bed. Something more relaxing.
Yeah.
Great. And what about for younger kids, like reading a book to them, maybe?
Yeah,
For the
I for
toddlers and
my like
preschoolers.
for my almost 4-year-old, I would just I'll say 读书唱歌睡觉, so she already know this is a routine. So read bedtime stories, lullabies, and then say a prayer, and then I'll put her
Oh.
into the cot actually. So I would normally tell my clients to really get your child to grow into the cot, because they always tend to graduate their baby to a toddler bed too soon, and then that's when they get challenges, as they want to have a toddler who wants to delay bedtime, or the toddler just want to go to their mommy or daddy's bedroom in the middle of the night. Yeah. Yeah, and you cannot reason with a 2-year-old so well as opposed to a 3-year-old and older, right? So that's why keeping them in the cot is kind of safe, serve as a boundary for them. They are confined in it. Of course, make sure it's safe. I mean, my daughter can just climb out of the cot easily and safely, so I think it's okay still to keep her in the cot. And as long as she know I've done the routine with her, I put her inside, and then she just won't climb out anymore. She knows it's time to sleep.
That's great. That's great. I have one small question for you.
Mm.
Can you give some comments about nap times? How can
Okay.
parents, introduce or ensure a nap time that is at an appropriate time, so that it doesn't sort of interfere with the bedtime? Like, what sort of advice do you have?
Well, so for different babies or different ages, right, they have different awake time, the guideline. Okay, so just for example, a newborn, they can be only awake for 45 minutes to 1 hour. Okay, before they need to go down for their nap, because newborns, they need at least 15 to 18 hours of sleep, so newborns actually sleep a lot. Okay, but for a toddler like a 2-year-old, they can be awake for like maybe 5 to 6 hours before they need to go down for a nap. They cannot be awake for like 12 hours and then they go down for bedtime. That's why I think for 2-year-old, they should still go down for one nap. Even my almost 4-year-old, she still go down for one nap. And yeah, I think it's good to have that nap, so that when it comes to bedtime, they won't become too overtired, because when they're too overtired, they will be fighting sleep, and they will become really, really cranky and hyperactive.
Okay. Yeah, that's a good point. So you would recommend for the kids to still have, I mean, toddlers and preschoolers to still have at least one nap? Because I know there's some parents who say, "Oh, my child refuses to sleep, to take a nap."
Yeah,
So, but the good point.
and then the thing is, yeah, a lot of parents think that, oh, okay, since my child doesn't want to sleep, then I'll just let them. But it's actually, you are the parent, right? You know what's best for your child, and you know that they are gonna be even more overtired if they don't nap. So I would set a firm boundaries for them when it comes to naps and when it comes to bedtime. I always make bedtime non-negotiable. Like if my girl just want to try to delay and delay, I will still make it very firm. Like there were times that she would want us to try to stay in the room until she fall asleep, because my mom came over one time, and then my mom was staying in the same room as her, and then she realized, hey, maybe it's nicer to have somebody who fall asleep with me in the same room. Then she started asking for that, but then I make sure that it doesn't become a habit. So then yeah, it just becomes a normal routine again, because she needs to know that she can fall asleep without anyone's presence. Because I think a lot of parents, what happened is that they will tell me that they are sleeping, I mean they are staying in the room until the child fall asleep, and then they will tell me it takes ages, like they spend 2 hours 3 hours in the bedroom, and then the child still does not fall asleep. And that's a common one, because like I said just now earlier, I said your presence is actually stimulating them even more. They cannot fall asleep easily.
Yes, I agree with you. I find that my kids sleep faster when I'm not in the room.
Yeah.
So, and it gives you some time to, unwind for yourself as well.
Yeah.
Rather than
Like
spend time
currently I
there.
have a client with a 2-year-old toddler, and yeah, because she's pregnant now, and then she really want to make sure that her toddler can learn to, fall asleep on her own, because all this while she needs the mom to pet her to sleep, and it takes hours, to get her to sleep. So now that number two is coming, that's why they are worried that she will still need the mom presence all the time. But with a newborn coming, there's no way she can keep doing that. That's why they decided that okay, they need to sleep train their toddler. And so yeah, and it's been, I think, a few days, and yeah, they're already seeing improvements, because they, you can set all these rules, bedtime rules and boundaries for your child, so that they learn this is what is expected of them. If all this while you have trained them to fall asleep a certain way, doesn't mean that it will take another 2 years for you to untrain those bad habits. Yeah, it just
Sure.
takes a few weeks of consistency, I would say.
Yes.
So, and I think one of the most popular question I often get asked is it too late to sleep train my toddler or my preschooler? Then for that answer, I would say, hey, we spend 1/3 of our life sleeping. If I have adults coming to me because they have been suffering from, insomnia, sleepless night, I mean, it's never too late, right? I mean,
Yes.
what more your little one, they have a whole lifetime ahead to make sure that they have good, healthy sleep habits. So I think it's our job as parents to foster healthy sleep habits for them, because they don't know any better. They rely on us to teach them.
Yeah, wonderful. It's good to let the moms know that there is hope.
Yeah.
If you are having this issue, there is hope. So tell us a little bit on how moms can get in touch with you.
Okay. Yeah, so I'm very active on social media. You can connect with me on Facebook or Instagram at SG Super Nanny, or you can check out my website, www.sgsupernanny.com. Or today, I actually just finished doing my a free guide on top 5 biggest mistake that most parents make about their child's sleep, and you can download that report on yourbabycansleep.com.
Okay, maybe we can pop that link into the comments later.
Okay.
And the moms can access that. Wonderful. So thank you so much for sharing today all your awesome tips and giving us so much hope when it comes to sleep.
Thanks so much for having me.
Yeah, it's our pleasure. Okay, so thank you for those of you joining us, and for those of you watching the replay, you can find the comments links in our comments. And yeah, do reach out to Zoe if you have any questions or any further things. Okay, thank you, and we will see you in the next Hearty Chats. Thanks again, Zoe. Bye, everyone.